Today we're headed to the backwoods of Alabama to search the riverbeds of a couple of ghost towns. These riverbeds have produced Native American artifacts, valuable antique bottles, and all kinds of relics. Today we do have our metal detectors, so we're excited to see what we'll come up with. So we've been detecting for about 15 minutes now, and this is the first notable signal that we pulled out. It is a very nice old doorknob, and this little piece of metal right here is what triggered the vortex to let us know that it was there. We have got a modern penny that is super corroded, and we've got a lead cap from a turn of the century, probably whiskey flask. And therefore, we know that we're in a spot that's going to have some pretty cool stuff. Inside of that lead cap, you can see that it says D30, and you can tell by the way that the threads are that it is an older cap. So that's pretty neat. And there's that very, very corroded modern penny. If this would have been an older copper penny, it wouldn't look anything like that. So there are tons of signals here, and we are on a stretch of creek that we have never detected before. What do you see?
Mini Nessie.
Oh, I see it. Looks like there's a stick sticking out up there. I don't know if you guys can see it in the middle of the water. It looks like a little Loch Ness monster head. So we're hoping there's going to be some good stuff here today. We never know though, because this creek has treated us well in some areas, and other areas it stiffed us. But let's find out what's here. We just had a really nice 75 signal. It's right here in the hole. We think we got it pinpointed beneath the rock. I'll let Miranda try to fan it out. I don't even know if we're going to need a pinpointer. Yep, we can see it. It was shallow.
What is it?
That is a belt buckle. And I don't know how old that one is, but
the patina on it looks old.
Well, river patina can be tricky.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's probably at least 20s. I don't know. You guys let me know in the comments. It's got a knurled little pin that's still in place. Could be like a World War I belt buckle, but that's just guessing. It could be World War II too. Kind of neat though. We'll take it for sure. So Miranda just had a really nice signal. And you can tell the patina on this one is much different than the other spoons that we pulled over the last couple of months. This is either going to be silver or this is going to be pewter, both of which is a pretty cool find because pewter is very early.
If it was silver, they probably bent it off and melted it.
That's probably broken the creek in time, honestly. That looks like that's kind of a fresher break. So you'd be shocked how fast this water moves down through here wide open. And when it does, it takes and rams these little long objects against rocks, and as it washes in time, it wiggles it back and forth until it breaks. But I'm not sure if it doesn't feel heavy enough to me to be silver, so I think it's pewter, but I may be wrong. Still a pretty cool find. Well, we suddenly started to get on to some of that modern river treasure that people like. Miranda just had a, what signal, 90?
87.
87 on the vortex, and it was a cell phone. It was reading kind of big. I was like, I bet it's a can.
What kind of phone is that? Is that an Android?
I don't know. It's a cheap one, but it might be Motorola, but it is swollen. That battery is about ready to go. We'll get it out of the water. Better to be out than in. So Miranda just had a nice 65 signal and scored another lipstick tube. This creek has an interesting theme. This is about 4 or 5 lipstick tubes, 10 or 15 doorknobs, 6 or 7 pocket knives. I don't know how many pocket watches and minor tags.
Just toys.
Yeah, and quite a few toys. So I mean, there's a lot of cool stuff in here. Yeah, there's some tokens too. So that's the reason we keep coming back, is honestly because of the token possibility. But that's a pretty neat little find, babe. Heck yeah.
And silverware.
Yeah, and silverware. So we're on the stuff. We just got to stay here and kind of just take our time across this creek back and forth. We're going to zigzag it, and hopefully some more good stuff will come out. We have started to find a ton of these old whiskey caps that are lead. I mean, one after the other on top of a lot of trash. There's a lot more modern trash like what Miranda just picked up here than in the other spots. But by seeing this stuff that's over 100 years old, it really makes me want to keep going, even though it is trashy. I just kicked up somebody's wallet over here off of the bank. This one is completely empty, so either somebody emptied it, tossed it in here, or everything washed out in time. That's sad. Doesn't belong in here though, so let's get it out. I just spotted this little doll arm in the bottom, and that's gonna be probably Victorian style. That's a pretty neat little find. We have a whole jar full of doll arms, legs, and heads that we found in this creek, and that is what tipped us off that we needed to be metal detecting here, because if there was that many kids items around, then we knew there should be some good old stuff. Miranda just had a 66 signal, and I'm not sure, but I think this was a straight razor handle. I believe it would have folded into there and they would have flipped it out to be able to shave. This side's pretty corroded, but it could have a name on it. And I may be way off base, but to me it's about the right size for that blade to flip out to be able to do that. Pretty cool find if it is. Brandon just had another 66 signal, and there's a miner's tag sticking out. First one of the day, surprisingly. Hey, you got the company name on that one?
I do.
Yep. Ooh, that one's in really good shape. SI and S code, miner number 389. So I will tell you guys, that would have been Sloss Iron, is what that stands for. Sloss Iron and Coal Company. So it would have been SI and C Co. So that is pretty cool to be able to tell you what it is now. We've hunted this spot so hard that I don't feel too terrible telling you guys the name. That is awesome. Let's keep going. Just had another miner's tag signal right here. It's a 67. We're gonna let Miranda try to fan it out for you guys live. It's double beeping, so we think it's, I saw it. I think I saw orange patina anyways. Yeah, there it is.
Not a miner's tag.
No,
it's too long.
Drop the shovel for that
one.
one.
Dude, it's got something on it.
What is that?
Oh,
it's a PO. It says PO box.
Oh, that's cool. And it says Brookside.
Steve F. Slavinsky, PO Box 25, Brookside, Alabama.
Somebody that's Polish.
Yep. And we did some research, and apparently this town had a ton of foreigners in it. Somewhere around 40% of the population at one time, because of the mine industry that was here, was from another country. And with that last name, he's a miner for sure. Wow. We'll see if we can look him up, see if we can find some info on him. That is really neat, guys. Really, really neat. I love being able to find something that's got a name on it, because that definitely means we're going to be able to find some info on him. I'm pretty positive. I have a little bit of a head cold, but I'm going to take a second to show you guys the little bit of info that we were able to find on Stephen F. Slavinsky. Apparently in 1977, he was interviewed as part of the University of Alabama Oral History Project. He died shortly after it. Slavinsky was born in Brookside in 1897, and he remained there until 1920. That tag that we just found has to date before 1920 because we're really local to that area. He was nephew of Joseph Slavinsky, who was a member of the local GCU Lodge. His father was born in Slavinki and lived for a time in Pennsylvania before relocating to Brookside. Slavic immigration to Brookside was at its height from the mid-1890s to 1908. His parents were married in S.S. Cyril, and I could be pronouncing this wrong, and Methodius Slavic RC Church in Brookside, the first wedding performed in the church. I'm going to stop reading right there and tell you guys that's kind of neat, because that religious pendant that Miranda found a few weeks ago is very possibly Steve's. So maybe everything that we found in this spot, including the miner tags, had something to do with Steve and what he collected, because obviously he loved the history of the town to do the interview. It says that the local families that lived here averaged about $25 a week. That's how much money they made while working there. So there is some interesting history. I wasn't able to uncover it all, but it's absolutely something that if you guys can find any more info on Steve, we would love to hear from you in the comments below. Let's get back to the video. So after that, I did just pull my own miner's tag. Mine doesn't have the mine name on it though. It's just number 84, but it's in good shape. Miranda says she's got another signal. I'm headed to her now to see what it is. Miranda just hit a little spot right here. It's had some very interesting relics in it. Wow, that is cool. What the heck is that?
I think it's a brooch or a button of some sort. Let's go rinse it off in the water.
It could be like a knob.
Oh yeah, like a pull?
Yeah, like a pull for a drawer.
Yep.
That's pretty.
I think that's what it was. Or like, I don't know.
It's hard to say. It's very decorative though. Wow, that's pretty neat, baby. We will absolutely take that. Who knows? This may have been one of Steve's dressers. So we made it about 2 steps from that little pull knob, and she's got another something down there that's pretty decorative. I don't know, that kind of looks like that brooch I found in here.
Let's go rinse it off.
Another rinse it? Another one we gotta rinse off. We got used to digging in the water and pulling the relics out clean and got up on the gravel bar. Oh, that is pretty.
It was broke.
I don't know, it may have been part of a dresser. Man, I cannot talk.
It might have been dresser pool. I don't know.
Hey, it's still,
neat, though.
It is neat, absolutely. That is cool, we'll take it. We have found a ton of these little bitty buckles like this one that Miranda just found. It was a solid 45, and it was definitely something you weren't gonna leave behind.
We thought it was a shoe buckle last time I dug one of those, but your dad made an interesting point. It could be a watch
Yeah, that's true. Maybe a watch band. I don't know.
And it might be like, when did they start doing watch bands?
I don't know, because we found so many pocket watches. To me, I think that was more of the thing that was going on at this time period was pocket watches. So I still think it was probably a shoe buckle or a garter buckle or something like that. I don't know. Cool little find though, and we have found, I guess that's probably number 6 or 7 on this bar. So there's quite a few of them here. We are on day 2, and overnight I did develop some kind of head cold, so I'm not sure how long I'm going to make it in this particular spot because it is brand new, and usually these creeks that I have not charted can be a little bit treacherous with climbing through debris. But I'm excited because I think this site could produce some good antique bottles due to a railroad station that was really close. So let's go check it out right now and see what we can find. This is crazy, guys. I'm at a new creek today, and I just walked a little ways in and I saw a can, and I saw a bottle right there. And I can see the embossing on the heel. And that's gonna be a good bottle, guys. Let's see. Ooh. That is a straight side Coke right there. It doesn't have a town on it, sadly. But that's pretty amazing to just get into a new creek and find right out of the gate a straight side Coke laying here. That is crazy, man. I just wish it had a town on it. That doesn't mean that it's any less historically valuable, but monetarily it does, sadly. So this is probably about a $35, $40 bottle. Considering it doesn't have any damage, I thought that it had a scratch right here, but that's actually a long open air bubble. So that's really cool, and now I'm excited. Gotta get past this crap right here and see what else we can find up here. All right, so I stepped just a couple steps to the right from where I just picked up the straight side Coke, and this heel was sticking out. And check this out. That right there is a Frisco Bottling Works hutch. Holy cow. I may have a new honey hole. It's about time. I've been searching for a good spot. It's crazy, the creek actually forks right here. This hutch piece is washed out of this little bitty ditch right there. The straight side Coke probably came from that side, so I'm really not sure which way I want to go, and I actually don't even have my waders on. So I'll regroup with y'all, let y'all know what I find here in just a second. This is gonna be newer than that hutch piece and that straight side Coke. You think it's embossed? Oh, it is embossed. Had a call? I have no idea what that is. Had a call. It's worth keeping. It's probably from the 40s or 50s, so it's probably only 60 or 70 years old. That's okay. Doesn't belong in here, and we'll get it out. And I still got my hopes up that there's gonna be more stuff in here. Look at this cute little guy I just picked up. Unsure of the age. Let's see, it says NY on the bottom for New York. And maybe, I can't make out what that bottom part, what it says, but if I had to guess, it's gonna probably be 1920s. You can see that the lip is larger over there than over here, so just makes me think it's got a little bit of age to it. Pretty neat. It's like a mini pickle jar almost. How old do y'all think that this birdhouse is? It's kind of hard to tell, but it looks pretty old to me. I imagine a tornado or something may have dropped it in here from a house. I almost want to carry it out, but I'm not gonna lie, it's a pretty far trek back to the truck. So I may leave it there and come back with my my pack to grab that one. So that little creek actually produced a couple of good pieces. That straight side Coke dates to around 1907 or 1908, and it is right behind the Coca-Cola hutch, just within a couple of years. So that tells me with the Frisco hutch piece, the straight side Coke piece, that there's a potential for finding a Coca-Cola hutch there. We're going to just let the leaves fall off the trees and a little bit more rain fall, and hopefully we'll find some more bottles in that particular site. We've had a few people asking about our house sale and where we were going to be living and all that kind of stuff while our house is being built. And so I'm going to take just a few minutes and show you guys our new purchase. We had to buy a camper to live in because our house sold so fast. So if you're not interested in this part, understand. But if you are, take a look at our new camper. We're kind of proud of it, and it's going to be our home away from home for about 6 months. Let's go check it out now. But without any further ado, let's go inside and show you the living quarters. This is probably the only camper that I've ever seen with this particular layout. And they said, oh, a lot of people don't like this layout. Well, it's going to work perfectly for what we've got. Let's go ahead and take a step inside. So as you walk in, the first thing you're going to see is a ladder to the left and an electric fireplace. This thing does have an electric heater inside of it. The vents that you see in the floor are gas, but running off of two, I guess it's 40-pound propane tanks. You could probably burn through that pretty quickly in the winter. So we're going to be relying heavily on the electric fireplace to keep us warm if we're still in here whenever it's really cold. My daughter has already claimed this upper bunk. So this is going to be her spot while we're in the camper. And if you see to this side over here, there's actually another little bitty bunk room. Let's see if I can turn the light on for you guys. And this bunk room is going to serve as our dog spot. So we're going to pull the bedding out of here, and the dogs will end up sleeping right down here on the floor. So Pepsi's going to have a nice home with us here as well, for those that are curious. Now we're going to turn around and show you the main living area. And we got this one with that mega slide out to give us as much room as we can, considering we're going to be in here for a few months. So we got a nice U-shaped dinette. We've got 4-foot drawers under there for storage. And we do have 2 ACs. So you got 1 AC in the roof here, 1 over there. Indoor, outdoor speakers. Not that that's a big deal. Football season is coming up though. And if I'm working in the yard, it'll be nice to be able to crank that up. A lot of campers now are going away from conventional ovens. So what you see right here is a microwave oven with an air fryer built in. That's going to suffice for now, at least for the next 5 to 6 months. We've got a transformer sink that you've got all these fancy attachments for. I don't even know how they work. We'll have to let Miranda show you guys that later. Lots of cabinet space up at the top, one down there on the bottom, a spot to mount a TV to the side. Very nice little sofa area. We are going to put probably a 35 or a 36-inch TV up there. We got one in my office I'm going to take out. Nice big pantry. This is going to come in really handy though, because a lot of you may not know this, or you may, I don't know. My daughter has a really rare genetic disorder, and she has to have specific foods, so we have to keep our food pretty organized. Nice big fridge in here as well. Freezer up top, regular fridge on the bottom, and you have a Jack and Jill style bathroom. So this is kind of the big deal with campers to me, is if you're going to be in a camper, it needs to be one that's got enough room for me to be able to live in. This one does have a nice toilet setup. You got a lot of space around it. That's where that second door would have came in. Instead of a curtain around the shower, you've got these plastic doors, and you got plenty of room in there. I stood up. In most campers, my height is an issue when it comes to a shower. This one right here actually works out pretty well. The Jack and Jill style door though goes from here into the bedroom. So this will be mine and Miranda's room. Turn one of these lights on for you guys. And this is going to be a camper queen. This side over here, if you need a CPAP machine, it already came wired up for a CPAP. You do have USB Type-C ports and regular micro USB ports as well on the sides for your phone chargers. So there's a lot of pros and cons to this camper for some people. But for us, that additional little side room to the right over here was the seller, because we had been trying to figure out what in the world are we going to do with our 2 dogs that are used to living inside with us. And we were like, man, we can't find a camper that's set up right. This one's perfect. We're just going to put that baby gate across there, and this is going to be their spot to go. This will also be where Addie's clothes go, is in this closet. Got a nice window to the side. Again, we're very pleased with the layout on this one. We looked for, I don't know, several months before we pulled the trigger, and this was just the best option for our family. Let us know in the comments though, what do you think about it? And we'll probably do a more in-depth tour once Miranda's with me, just to show you guys more of the features. Right now, our view to the side is terrible with this house that'll be coming down, but I am looking forward to this fall with all the trees changing colors, and this Alabama humidity will finally bite the dust where we can get a lot more done while it's cool. I hope that you guys didn't mind a little bit of the behind the scenes stuff that we had going on towards the end of this video with the camper tour. That's stuff that we usually do on our other YouTube channel, The Glass Family Homestead. However, this week with me being sick, I didn't have enough footage to make a longer video. Plus, I know a ton of you aren't subscribed to the other channel, so I wanted to show you what's going on with our lives at the end. So maybe you'll understand why we're slow to actually answer on our eBay store currently, as well as all of our comments, is because our life is in shambles. We got stuff scattered from one end of the earth to the other, it feels like, and we're just trying to keep our head above the water. Again, though, if you're interested in our home build, the dirt work, and the demolition of the house that you saw in the background, that will all be coming to the Glass Family Homestead channel. So if you're not subscribed, please do so, and we will see you guys in the next adventure.